introduce you to the participant. Uh, a very good morning to everyone present here. Dr. Rajkumar Arya, Associate Professor in Department of Chemical Engineering, NIT Jalandhar, the coordinator of this short-term course. And the convener of the course is Dr. Sangeeta Garg, head of the department. And patron of the course is Professor Dr. Lalit Kumar Avasthi sir, the director, NIT Jalandhar. So I welcome you all to the fourth day of our international short-term course on current and future scope of surface coating. The speaker of the first session is Mr. Pramod Gangiyan, who will talk on surface coatings in flexible and packing industries. So let me introduce Mr. Gangiyan to everyone present here. We have amidst us Mr. Pramod Gangiyan, who is a proprietor at Home Inks and Resins. Prior to that, he was the CEO at Sweet Home, Serigam, and General Manager at Microlinks Limited. He also worked with Sakata INX as a technical manager, with Uflex as joint executive manager technical. On the educational front, Mr. Gangiyan completed his MTech in printing and graphics technology from PBG Pune and PGD BM in marketing and operation from IMT Ghaziabad. Prior to that, he completed his bachelor's in printing inks and print technology from SBTI Kanpur. Mr. Gangiyan would be speaking on surface coating in flexible and packing industry. So with these brief introductions, now I would like Mr. Gangiyan to conduct the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you,
So,
Dr. Yeah,
yes,
please.
sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. So,
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Raj, for a nice introduction. Uh, let me honestly give my briefings about this session. I was very enthusiastic to attend all the sessions in this 2 to 6 one week session, but I was not able to join it because I was traveling for my some personal belongings. Uh, Yesterday itself, I reached my home around 3:30 in the morning, and I just wake up and rush to join last session, and it was really encouraging. So the things are moving well. I learned a lot in last session. My present session, whatever I learned from last session given by Dr. I forgot the name, Dr.
Colonel Singh.
Colonel Singh. It was more of technical, but today I'm not going to talk too much about the technicals. I'm going to discuss some different dimensions of the surface coating industry, which will be beneficial for, because I know, being an industrialist and industry expert, my goal should be to give the guidance and career opportunities to the students rather than giving the academics. Because academics like Dr. Anjani, Dr. Raj, all professors are available. So I know they are much, they are having much caliber than myself to give the academics. So my role today is, and my presentation will be more focused on to give the industry scenario, how we are going, what is the market potential, what is the difference between the surface coatings, what we know so far, and what is there is a different dimensions we call surface coatings in the flexible industry, and what is the potential over there, and then what are the growth and career opportunities over there. So if anybody feels something questions and some you are not able to catch up my presentation, you just note it down, and maybe in question answer session I will try to give all the answers from my side up to the maximum extent possible. So Dr. Raj, can you give me some?
Yes, yes. You have full control now, so you can present.
Okay, so where to control? I want to
In the
start your.
in the right corner bottom, you have a
Yes.
present now at the top arrow.
Uh, Whiteboard, change layout, camera, change background, and choice. I don't know how to start it.
Sir, actually, in the bottom side, once you
Yeah.
will go to this,
It-
you have
There,
in corner present now.
yes, present now. Okay.
Yeah, so there
And
you have
screen.
three options. Your the entire screen or a particular window.
Okay.
So if you'll click on and you'll click on entire screen, your everything would be visible to us.
Window. Wait. Okay. Uh, okay. Uh, is my screen visible to all?
Yes, yes, it's coming, sir.
Okay.
It's visible now.
Okay. So, warm welcome to all participants and panelists on the board. This is the structure of my presentation today will be briefly in three parts. The first part I will be covering introduction about myself and my company, and then a journey from employment to entrepreneur, how I changed myself from employee to entrepreneur. And then the major focus will be on the definitely surface coatings for flexible industry and for packaging industry. Now, something about myself. I'm the first generation entrepreneur and the promoter of two companies having Sweet Home Inc. Solutions and Home Inc. And Resins. In Sweet Home Inc. Solutions, we are providing the consultancy worldwide in the 24 countries. Along with that, we are having a lot of technical sessions for different universities. We do cater the projects for the students under this umbrella. And in Home Inks and Resins, we are producing inks and resins. We are catering to all multinational companies like Nestle, P&G, Colgate, and all those things. Okay, this is a brief journey about myself. I started my career with Uflex in 1993 after doing my BTech from HBTI, presently HBTU. I was there till 2001. Then I joined Sakat INX in 2001, and I was there for till 2003. Then I joined as a global technical head Cuba Group in 2003, and I was there till 2010. That was the scenario I was working as an employee. In 2011, I quitted my role as a employment and I started my own unit as a consultancy firm in 2011. And then slowly it converted into development activity and now it is producing printing inks as well. Home inks and resins, we have started second unit in 2019. So presently we are having two units. One is catering precisely for toluene-based products and another is for toluene-free products. Okay. About my academics, like Dr. Raj has already introduced, I did my bachelor's in science and then BTech in printing inks and paint technology from HBTI, then master's in business administration from PVG from IMT Ghaziabad, and then master's in printing and graphic communication from PVG College Pune. And lastly, I have done the master's in graphic communication and color theory from Netherlands. So this is all about my academics. A brief about Sweet Home, my company. We are well-known ink solution providers. We are the Scotch Award winner given by the Planning Commission of India in 2017 for development of the printing inks, a security ink for ink and coating for vaccines. We are ISO 9001 certified company. This is something about Sweet Home. Now we are well-known name in the academic sector to take a lot of projects for students of bachelor and master's program through various institutions. Now Sweet Home subscribes to the philosophy of always having a focus on R&D and quality. We believe in continuous innovation, and that is our SOP basically, not only for our products but also for applications and process. This is our key note to our organization. Now, this is something about the financial growth pattern of Sweet Home. I will quickly introduce, and I will skip all those slides because this is none of great interest of you people. We started in 2011 and 2012 till 2018. You can see our growth pattern. This is sales in USD, million USD. Now, coming back to major our part, the coating industry or the coatings for flexible packaging. So let us understand first what is packaging. Why we are talking about packaging? Why we are talking about the coatings? Today, our major focus is basically on flexible packaging, but whatever we are discussing, somehow it is related to what do you call even hard coatings like paints and metals and all those surfaces. But try to understand my all slides in the scenario of flexible industry. Now, there is a product. What we are going to pack, whether it is a hard packing or it is a soft packing or it is a metallic packing or it is a flexible packaging, maybe paper packaging. So there is a product which always undergo a physical, a chemical, and a microbiological changes. Please do not hesitate to stop me in between if I'm not audible or something is not clear to any participant, right? Now, this product, what we are going to pack, it has got some environment. We call it packaging, right? Whether this is a flexible packaging or it is a box packaging or it is a hard packaging. So this packaging has got material, then methodology and compatibility. Material means based on product, based on what type of physical, what type of chemical or what type of microbiological changes it is going to happen during the transit or during the application or uses throughout its whole lifespan. So we have to decide what type of material we have to use for packaging, whether we have to pack in a metal box or we have to pack in a paper corrugated box or we have to pack in a flexible packaging, right? And then there is a methodology, how to pack it, how to make that packaging. And then it has got some compatibility, whether that product is compatible with the packaging or packaging is compatible with the product or not, right? There is another environment, we call it ambient environment. What is that ambient environment? Ambient environment is when you are making some packaging product inside and you are keeping in the environment on the shelf for sale or something. So that is called ambient environment. What is it consists? It consists oxygen, it consists moisture in terms of water, which is available in the environment, and then sometimes it is heat because we know if it is a summer, it can go up to 50-degree temperature. And then there is a transportation hazards. So this packaging has inside a product. So there is a threat for physical, chemical, and microbiological changes. And outside, there are threats from oxygen, moisture, heat, and transportation hazards. There is another environment, we call it macro environment. What is that macro environment? Macro environment is the legislations, the convenience, the cost, and the marketing aspects. What is legislations? Legislations means if you want to pack, for example, if you want to pack tea, so you cannot pack this tea in a metallic box. You cannot pack this tea into a corrugated box directly. You have to pack in either a 2-ply laminate or into a 3-ply laminate, which can resist the migration of aroma. Not only that, there should not be any constituent in that packaging which can hamper the properties of that tea. right? So those are the legislations available. Like presently, there is a legislation 1 month ago has come that none of the food packaging should consist toluene in its as a raw material to make it printing or in any sort of raw material. So these are the legislations we have to take care always. Then there is a convenience. Convenience means, for example, if we are having a water bottle or water cup, right? In that water cup, if we are opening it, tearing the lid of it, sometimes what happens if it is a hard sealing, so you have to put a lot of pressure to dry it, and maybe at the second hand your bottom hand will squeeze the pouch, so your water will squeeze out. So that is a convenience, means your packaging should be in such a way that it is easy to open, easy to handle, and it should bear all requirements of the packaging, right? Production and all those things. And of course, there is a cost. So if we can pack any material in a paper bag, so we cannot bear to pack it in a glass bottle. The best example is the cold drinks. Earlier, the cold drink was very costly because it was packed in glass bottles, and it has to be recycled and going back to the plant and then cleaning and all those aspects. So it was very costly. Now, almost glass bottles has vanished. So cost is again aspect for this. Now, coming back to the major segment of our coatings. So what type of coatings do we understand? As far as I know, if we talk about paints, so the coating industry or surface coating industries, particularly we are teaching our students in the aspects of metallic coatings, paints, surface preparation, and all those things. But there is a different dimensions of the coatings in flexible industry. What are those type of coatings? Now, there are some specialty color coatings and there are some specialty transparent coatings. Specialty color coatings are like conductive coatings. So we will discuss one by one in detail. What is conductive coatings? So conductive coatings are those coatings like we are making PCBs for electronics industry, right? Earlier, PCB was manufactured by a wire mesh. There was a metallic layer, maybe copper and something, but today it is not the case. Today, if you see the PCB available, which is very fine prints, so you cannot put metal strips over there. So it is basically a printed. So that we call it printed electronics. And basically, there is a big role of conductive coatings over there. So we are making these PCBs just by printing. So those, wherever we are printing these coatings, so they are working as a conductor. So we call it conductive coatings. Now there are another dimensions, we call it glitter coatings. These glitter coatings are when you apply on a surface, then we have a sparkling effect. Presently, if you see the like some of the cars available, we call it pearl silver, pearl metallic gold, like those things. So pearl is a phenomena which is a very fine glitter. So we can have something different also, which is big glitters. So of course, it is not available in what you call automobile industry, but it is available in like pharmaceuticals. It is available in perfumes. It is available in high end products like cosmetics and all those things. So we call it glitter coatings. There are another dimensions which call it matte coatings. So nowadays this is a trend. Earlier everybody was asking the coatings and surfaces like heavy gloss, even floors. Earlier, if you see the tiles and everything was coming, and the paints, wall paints, everything was glossy. Now the trend has come that everybody wants the matte, and the matte effect is very soothing and very effective as well. So the coatings on the floor, tiles, marbles, granite, there is a matte coating. Even on the paints, on the walls, it is a matte coating. And same phenomena is in flexible coatings. Now you can see there are so many bags, carry bags, and then some pouches available with matte coatings. which gives very effective. Sometimes where you want to highlight your brand, so that will be only glossy and rest part will be matte. So it gives both effects, soothing effect as well as highlighting of the your brand. Now, another thing is thermochromic coatings. These are again a color coating. Thermochromic coatings are basically when you are applying any temperature on the coating and it is changing its color. So there are several ranges available for it. Some coatings are changing its color even at 23 to 25-degree temperature. Means if the coating is available on your car or on your paper or in packaging, you just touch it, and by the heat of your thumb or by the heat of your palm, it senses the temperature and then it change its color. Suppose at that area color is yellow, so the moment you will touch with your thumb or with your palm, that particular palm area, it will change its color maybe to orange. So that is called thermochromic. At the moment you will withdraw, then again it will be in the original position. So it will yellow, it will again become yellow. So thermochromic inks or coatings are basically in two different segments. One is we call it reversible coatings and another is non-reversible coatings. So reversible coatings are basically when you are applying any temperature, it changes its color, but once you withdraw the temperature, it will come to its original position. So that is called it reversible coatings, reversible thermochromic coatings. And there is another segment for thermochromic coatings is we call it irreversible. Irreversible means when you apply a temperature, it will change its color, but even after withdrawing your temperature, it will come to the normal position or the environment or ambient temperature, but its color will not revert. Whatever change it happens, it will happen. And this is the segment, thermochromic coatings. We got a Scotch Award from Planning Commission of India, Delhi. We produced a thermochromic coating for vaccines. And we were the first one to produce this type of coatings, which can change its color 7 times. Means the basic idea behind it is like we are having a vaccines. If you go to the rural areas, a doctor takes the vaccination bottle from the fridge, and then they are doing vaccination to maybe 1 or 2 kids, and then they are again putting into the freezer, right? Even today, if you see, there are different theories are going on, like thermochromic, the vaccines. One vaccine is produced by USA, one vaccine is produced by UK, and one vaccines are produced by Russia, and few vaccines are getting from India. So they are having different temperatures to be stored. Like the vaccine which is produced by Russia, they are claiming that it is to be stored at minus 70 degree. But tell me, where is the facility to create minus 70 degree? We do not have a facility. Entire India, except few specific locations, none of the place we are having this facility that we can store these vaccines at minus 70 degree. So what to do? How we know whether this vaccine is good enough or it is not good enough? Whether we can
Excuse
use
me,
it or
sir.
whether we can. Yeah, please.
Uh, Due to this reason, they put some coloring type of the effect indication that the medicine is expired. Something they say the once the color is changed from blue to black, after that you
Yes.
cannot use the medicine.
Yes. That is what I'm conveying. That we make this coating. This thermochromic ink was available one time convertible, like you are saying. So suppose it was from blue to black. So the moment it will become black, it means it is expired. So but we make this coatings which changes its color 7 times, and it is not like one time, because there are vaccines which can be withdrawn from the freezer to the ambient temperature, then again can put back to the freezer, again can take it back to the ambient temperature. So you can withdraw 7 times. You cannot withdraw it 8 times. So we make this thermochromic coatings that starting from the label is yellow. The moment you will take it out, it will become orange. Again put in the freezer, it will remain orange. Again take it out, it will become red. So again put it in the freezer, take it out, it will become magenta. Means you know the cycle, how many times you have used it, how many times you have put it in the freezer, or how many times vaccines are injected that vaccine. uh, because any vaccine should not have life cycle more than 6 times. 6 times if you are taking out and putting it again freezer, so sixth time the vaccine is destroyed, or vaccine is not usable. So the seventh time means the moment you are putting sixth time inside and taking out, so seventh time it will become black. So even layman can understand that this vaccine is now expired, we cannot use it. Okay, so this is again a very crucial part. So in which comes in the coating industry. Now thermoformable coatings. Thermoformable coatings means when you are applying a coating or maybe ink, or you are putting some label, like we have seen some shot of egg. What is the name of that job? Shell. Kinder Joy. Have you seen the Kinder Joy? Where is it toffee inside, and it is a sort of egg shape, right? So
I think it is eating and the demanding that thing only. Now the
yes,
cost has come down. The earlier it was very costly.
yes. So because earlier it was just in the shell form, and it was printed as a shell form. Now it is basically a sheet form. It is printed by gravy or a flexible industry, printing technology, and then we make a coating in such a way. The moment you will make it balloon, or the shape, you are giving thermoforming, and by applying heat you are forming it in the shape of a egg, so that whatever written over there, it is also expanded in such a way, the ratio is maintained. The ratio of the film which is expanded, the ratio of the coating is also expanded in such a way. There is no crack, there is no elasticity, nothing is destroyed. So that is called thermoformable coatings. Now another is UV visible coatings. Uh, very easy way to understand it. Like we have a currency note. Everybody knows that if you put inside a UV light, you will see some image of maybe Mahatma Gandhi or something like this, or written 500 note or 1000 note or 2000 rupees. Which is not visible in daylight, but the moment you will put in the scanner, which is basically nothing like more than UV light, so something is visible. So that is a security part. So those are again a part of coatings. So we should understand, even this is our role. We can produce it, and we can make a career in this segment as well. UV visible coatings. Now, there are few specialty coatings which is non-colorant, which will not give you the coloring or visible effects, but they have their role. Like there is anti-slip coatings. What is those anti-slip coatings? For example, if we are making cement bags, right, where you have to put in the on the store maybe 10 bags to each other, or 20 bags, or maybe 30 bags on one on top of others. So if something goes wrong, if you withdraw one bag, then what will happen? The 20 bags on the top will automatically collapse. So there is a coatings available on such bags like rice bags, or maybe cement bags, where those bags will not slip in the store at the time of stacking, right? So this is again a big industry. Now, matte coatings we have already discussed. Anti-static coatings. Now, this is again very important and crucial part. Whenever we are making a car body, or we are painting it, not only car, anything which is moving during its manufacturing, whether it is a car body, or it is a flexible packaging, or it is a moving part of any uh, what you call automobile part, or any segment moving part, when at the time of manufacturing, then there is always a static current available, and that static current can cause fire, as well as it is very dangerous for the human body at the time of manufacturing, at the time of working of the shop floor. So we can produce, or we can apply those type of coatings prior to movement of that object, whether it is a car body or it is a part or it is a flexible packaging, so that it will not create any static current. So we are basically vanishing the fire hazard as well as the human hazard. Now, conductive coatings we have already discussed. So conductive coatings can be basically colored and non-colored, transparent as well. Now, glitter coatings, again we have discussed. This is again comes whether it is a sparkling effect, colored or non-colored sparkling effect, just a glass sort of sparkling effect. Another dimension is heat seal coatings. This is a very big industry coming up uh, in present scenario. Like everybody is using some Scotch Brite in your house, right? You are using battery cells in our house. We are using toothbrushes in our house. So do we analyze anytime how this is being packed? There is a paper or board bottom side, and then there is a brush or maybe a Scotch Brite or maybe some cells, battery cells, AAA size or AA size or whatever, and then there is a transparent layer. Basically, it is either PET or PVC, right? So how it is produced? It is basically produced that you take a paper board, apply a heat seal coating, take that cavity of transparent sheet, put your object into it, and label it, the paper, and just press with heat, and it will be sealed, right? And that is why it is called heat seal coatings. Unless until you are not applying heat, you cannot see anything. It is just a transparent coating, transparent thing. The moment you will apply heat, it will become melt. It will melt it, and it will act as a glue. So that is called heat seal coatings. The moment you apply heat, it will seal two objects. Another dimension is protective coatings. Uh, very crucial part which is required as of now, whether it is metallic industry or it is flexible industry. Like if you talk about even in automotives, so earlier what we were doing, we were just doing a base coat, we were doing a paint, maybe one layer and two layer, but we were not doing any protective coat over it, we were not giving any hardening coat over it. But now we are giving one a special coat especially for high brand cars like BMW and Mercedes. They are giving one protective coating over top of their paints. What is that protective coating? It will uh, resist all the scratches. It will resist even the corrosion. It will resist UV protection, UV, what do you call, the color fading because of UV light or sunlight. So those type of protective coatings are also very common as of now in all the segments, hard surfaces as well as flexible surfaces. And there is release coating. What is that release coating? If you see, there is this PSA tapes. We are using in our houses. You know PSA tape, pressure sensitive tapes, PS tapes, pressure sensitive tapes, like transparent tapes we are using in our houses. Kids are using to stick some their books and all those things. So these are called PS tapes, pressure sensitive tapes. So in these tapes, one side there is a glue, and other side, reverse side, there is a release coat. If there is no release coat, then that tape itself will stick to each other and it will not be openable. Like same way, we have like our electric tapes, insulation tapes. So one side is adhesive and another side is release coat. So this is another release coating application we can find in different areas, and the major segment is like sanitary napkins, labels, like paper labels we are using, stickers. We have one layer bottom side paper, you just remove that layer and stick to anywhere. So that paper is having release coating, so that that adhesive can be easily released from that protective surface, and you can put it on the any surface, so that the label will be stick to over there. and there is a UV visible coatings, right? We have already discussed what is UV coatings. So this again can be transparent and can be colored. Okay. Now, whatever coatings we have discussed so far, so these coatings can be again classified based on their nature, how to apply it, or based on their nature, what is the constituent inside it. Like based on application, we can classify as a gravure coatings or reflexo coatings or a screen coatings or roller coatings, right? Again, there are few dimensions we can classify like toluene based coatings or toluene free coatings or ketone free coatings. So this is a technical part of over it, and which comes in legislations, because there are certain rules specified by the industry and certain rules specified by the government itself, that where to use which type of coatings. Like today, I introduced recently that 1 month back, there is a notification came from Government of India that we cannot use toluene-based coatings for food packagings. So there are certain legislations. There are certain legislations which is not from the government, but it is industry specific. The industrialist or the technical persons available in the industry, they have given their guidelines like PNG. Though there are not very crucial aspects given by the government of India or government of any country, but PNG they have made their own criteria that what to use and what not to use, which is good for human health, which is not good for human health. So they have restricted few raw materials, they have restricted few parts and a few applications which cannot be used for health and hygiene products, which cannot be used for food products and all those things, right? So there are toluene based coatings we can use for dry and wet lamination coatings. There are certain extrusion lamination coatings. There are surface application coatings, right? Again, there are toluene and ketone free coatings like wet and dry lamination for toluene free and ketone free. There is another segment like toluene is a very carcinogenic solvent, and there is a ketone again, which is again very high carcinogenic, not only for human body but to the environment as well. So there is a restrictions in almost 90% of the countries worldwide, but we are very unfortunate that Indian government has not taken any steps so far for ketone resistance. Toluene, yes, they have taken some measures last month itself, and that's too only for food industry, but not for human health, not for another industry, only for food industry. So I can again say, as a technocrat, I presume that we should not use toluene and ketone at all, because it is not good for human health, not only for packaging, but to the users where we are applying these solvents or these coatings. Okay, there is another dimensions like deep freeze applications, milk, yogurt, cheese, and butter, all those products where we can apply these coatings. Like if you see some chocolates are available, right? On the chocolate, if you see there is a aluminum foil, and in aluminum foil there is always a yellow color. Have you seen that? Anybody observe it? Why there is a specific yellow color available over there? Why there is a only foil is available, or there is a butter paper available? Why nothing else? So these are again legislations, which is sometimes it is industry specific, sometimes it is government specific. So this is again comes in the environment, we call it macro environment. So we have to understand that is again a part of coating industry. Now there are
So,
certain yeah,
do these foils and butter paper help in some way?
yes, it helps. So basically it enhances the life, and it takes care that sometimes if temperature goes up and it got melted, so it should not be D-shaped. So that is again the requirement of the packaging. So that is why there is a foil itself, because foil doesn't change its shape very easily like other flexible parts.
Oh,
Okay,
to
yeah, there is
make it
another,
impermeable type of thing, right?
yes. So
Oh,
now there
okay.
is another coatings which we apply like solvent and chemical resistance coatings. I will give you one very big dimension, present dimension over here. Like there is a very big trend as of now that more and more people are going towards paper bags. Everybody knows that government has banned this carry bags, right? So carry bags are basically made of polyethylene or polypropylene. So polyethylene and polypropylene, the government has banned it. Now there is no solution. Always you cannot carry your cotton bags from your house. So what to do now? So now there are the dimension is coming up that we are coming up with a paper bags. Now the biggest lacuna in paper bags is that it cannot withstand that much strength. If you want to pack maybe 2 kg or 3 kg vegetables in the paper bag, it will automatically got spoiled in the on the way. So strength is not available. So industry is developing, even we are developing such coatings that you apply on the paper, and then that paper will become non-absorbent. Non-absorbent means even if you dip in the water, if there is a rain while you are carrying your some vegetables or some goods in paper bags, so that paper will not get destroyed. That bag will not be destroyed, and again it will enhance the paper strength up to 5 times. So suppose if paper bag alone can withstand or can carry 1 kg of article, the moment on the same paper you apply coating, very thin coating, maybe 4 GSM or 5 GSM, then it can carry 5 kgs material. So this is another coating industry dimensions. So in nutshell, uh, here I do not hesitate to say, like if the coating industry, we call it rigid coating industry, like metallic and all those aspects. Flexible coating industry has got very wide range as well as very wide opportunities and future aspects, where we can see like hard coating industry, they have come to the saturation level where we already developed the things, and there is we can hardly see any big developments coming up, which is not the case in flexible coating industry, right? And now there are another dimensions like heat resistant coatings we apply on foil and paper industry. What is that heat resistant? Sometimes, like if you see the pharmaceuticals, the medicines are packed in a PVC blister. Bottom side is PVC or PP, we call it blister. There is a cavity, right, where medicines are kept inside it, and on the top there is a foil. Like once again we have to seal it. जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया, you have to put some medicine or article into the cavity, and you have to put some paper or foil and then heat press it, and it will be sealed. So same way the medicines cannot be packed in paper bags, they have to be packed in with a foil, right? Because we cannot afford migration of moisture into the medicines, because it can spoil or it can reduce its shelf life. So expiry date will not be matched. So it has to be packed with foil. So again, on that foil, we have to apply with the heat resistant coating so that at the time of sealing, neither that foil nor that printing which is available on the branding or some text available, it should not be destroyed at the time of heat application. So those is called heat resistant coatings. Okay. Now again, same thing, we can classify based on the solvents. Based on solvents, like we can classify into water-based coatings or solvent-based coatings. Though we understand that water again is classified as a solvent, right? But let us assume water as a different entity and solvent as a different entity. So just to understand, based on carcinogenity. So all the solvents other than water are termed as carcinogenic, whether it is alcohol up to some extent, whether it is toluene or it is ketone or it is acetate or it is anything else, right? So water is not carcinogenic in that segment. So that is why water as a solvent has different category. So water-based coatings as well as solvent-based coating. So water-based coatings, like we have Tetra Paks. Have you seen that brick coat packing for milk, or maybe brick coating for some chas, some yogurt, something like that, right? And some juices as well. So those are basically printed by flexible printing, and it has got some water-based coatings on it, top of it. So which is very common for paper, corrugation, and label printings. Non-woven fabric industry. Now there is another segment. If you understand, the moment government has banned the flexible carry bags made of polyethylene and polypropylene, so the industry has come up with a solution. We call it non-woven fabric. So have you seen some sort of brown paper bags, something like that? So that is called non-woven fabric. So this is not a polymer, but it is a sort of fabric, but it is not woven. It is non-woven. Again, there is another dimension. We call it woven PE or PP printing, like cement bags, like your wheat bags, rice bags, all those big bags, they are called woven bags. So there is a coating on top of it. There are different coatings. On in one bag, it contains several coatings. Like one is I introduced earlier, because there are different dimensions at the time of storage, at the time of transportation. Like one coating is for aesthetics effect, one coating is for anti-skidding, so that it should not skid when we are staking it. And there is another dimension. We have one more coating which is called anti-static coating. Because sometimes what happens, I don't know whether you have observed or you have not observed or you have seen it. Sometimes the stores of rice or wheat, it got fire itself. Can anybody tell me what are the reasons why rice or wheat can have a fire? Store, basically. Nothing is there, no movement is there, nothing is there. So this is basically, once we are staking the bags on top of it, maybe 10 layers, 20 layers, 30 layers, big stores, if because of any reason there is a skidding, so bags will collapse and their movement will be there. The movement will be there and friction is also there, because bag will not just fly, it will collapse on top of others. So because of that friction and static current, there is a fire, there is a spark, and it got fire. But believe me, no one is taking it seriously, and everybody is saying that fire was because of, can anybody tell me? Everybody, every time we are understanding that fire is because of a spark, because of electric wire has got short circuit or something like that. No, 90% cases, all the stores having fire because of this skidding effect, anti-static coating or static effect, static current effect. So the coating industry has a very big role for these type of effects and these catering all those applications. Okay, same thing we can have in solvent based coatings as well. Like what we have water based, we have solvent based also. But again, there are limitations where we can use water based coatings, where we can use solvent based coatings. Everywhere we cannot use water based coatings. Again, same times everywhere we cannot use solvent based coatings. Now, the big question is why coatings? Abhi, more or less, I have explained everything. What is the need? Like the recent example I have given you. So I think now everybody is a little tired. So we can have a little joke over here, right? A short story.
No, sir. Actually, we are actually learning a lot from here, and I am also getting new innovative idea to expand the research work which I am doing actually.
Okay, great.
So I will say, in the meantime, I will say thank you very much to share all these things actually. I know something, but from all your from Parveer Dar's actually, I learned a lot. What more can I do actually?
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to make a little different dimension to this presentation, let us have some sort of break. It is a technical break. It is not bio break or it is not tea break. It is a technical break. Uh, okay, this is a small story. I will share something. A man in a hot air balloon realizes that he was lost. A man was traveling in a hot balloon and he realizes that he was lost. He reduced his altitude and he saw one woman below him. Then he descended a bit just so that he can talk to that lady. And he shouted, "Excuse me, can you help me? I was traveling to one of my friend. I promised that I would meet him an hour ago, but I don't know where I am. I'm basically lost." So the woman replied, "You are in a hot air balloon having approximately 13 feet above the ground level. You are between 40 and 41 degrees north latitude and between 59 and 60 degrees west latitude, longitude." Oh, balloonist was astonished. He says, "You must be a technician or you must be a professor." "Yes, I am." "But how you did know?" "Well," answered the balloonist, "everything you told me is probably technically correct, but I have no idea what to make of your information, and the fact is I am still lost. I do not know where I am and where I have to go. Frankly, you have not been much help at all. If anything, you have done that you have delayed my trip 5 minutes further." So the moral of the story is, if anything is not clear so far, please do not hesitate to express. So this is
Yes,
why I captured this story, because yesterday I was really lost. It was I really lost, and I do not know how to make, because the question I asked yesterday, it was that of course there is a curling effect, there is a bending effect, but to how to calculate how much angle it has bent, how much angle, how much stress is bent, there is so many theta, effective modulus, and all those things. So I was lost
right,
actually.
right.
I do not
Yes,
know.
yes.
Yeah, I do not know how to use those informations to remove those effects so that there should not be any curling effect. Right?
So
Okay.
actually, for that work, we people are at the the here. You just keep on giving your problem. We will tell you how much theta and gamma you need actually.
That's right. So that is basically difference in doctor or technocrat from uh, education side and from a technical, from a industry side. So this is the difference I see. You people are giving it so deep knowledge, which is basically required for maybe some kinds of thesis on some requirement maybe in future. But 90% of people, it is not required because they are not going to apply it. That is what we understand as a industrialist, as a industry expert.
Correct, correct.
Right. Okay. Let us continue. Okay. I'm just having a little break so that people should be little again should not tired, not tired. Okay. What is this conveyed? Does it convey something to you? No, it doesn't convey anything. I can see some brick over there, some peas, some black and some there and paper bottom it. No color, no life, no meaning, no coatings, nothing is there. So life is very boring, right? What it does mean? Just take it, two pictures. Can you feel something? So
Yeah,
one
now
picture,
it's become attractive and interesting actually.
yes. So we can explain in such a way. One picture is worth than 10,000 words. Without reading anything, just have a glimpse, and you can imagine 10,000 words, right? Like you can understand. Like here, what is below this cup, you do not know. What is this bottom brick, you do not know. What is this left brick, you do not know. But the moment you say, oh, this is cornflake, this is something toothpaste, or this is paper, newspaper inside it. Okay. Now, we have already discussed these packaging functions, but let us understand what is this packaging and where the role of coating comes. Now, any packages, whether it is a metal, believe me, a car is a package, right? Treat this car in a car body as a package, to just to understand. Why I'm giving this example every time for a car? Because my presentation is basically for flexible packaging, but I do not know whether you people are teaching the flexible packaging to the students. I presume that whenever I have interacted to so many institutions where they are teaching surface coatings, so they are teaching only the paints and hard coatings, right? So that is why I'm giving every time the example of car. So treat as a car body as a package where engine, the tires, everything is packed inside, and even when it is running, even the human is packed inside, right? So that, what is that package? That package is has got integral part, the production, distribution, and marketing. It has got some function, like car has got some function, right? Any package, whether it is a Tata tea pouch, or it is a car, or it is a bearing pouch, or anything, or a milk pouch, it has got its function. And then is a package type. So integral parts are basically how to produce it. If you want to produce a car body, there is a different production applications. There is a, if you want to pack make a corrugated box, there is a different production aspects. If you want to pack milk, there is a different production aspect. Similarly, there is a different distributions aspects as well, because the transportation hazards is different for different applications, for different pouches, or for different packages. Of course, there is a marketing strategies are different. Now, let us focus on the functions. What are the functions of a package, whether it is a car, or it is a Tata tea pouch, or it is any yogurt pouch, or it is a milk pouch, or it is a water bottle, or it is a cold drink bottle. So, basic function of that package is basically preservation. Then, second is protection, and third is the presentation, right? So, like we have seen in that picture, the present preservation is that pouch or a package should be designed in such a way that it should preserve the body inside it, the material or article inside it. For example, a car should have what we call it safety aspects, right? A car should have all those safety aspects which can give protection to the human inside, which can give protection to the engine, which can give protection to the seats, car seats inside it, right? And then there is a preservation, which can preserve itself. So that preservation means, like, there is a, suppose if you are not moving your car for 1 month, so what will happen? So there is a bad smell inside it. So there will be a fungi on the your car seats. So do we think that that car body or that car package is designed in a good way? No, it is not. That means somewhere moisture or air ventilation is already present. That is why some moisture is going inside or some dust is going inside, even though all the doors and everything is closed. So in that case, the car body is not made in a good way. It is not a proper packaging. So preservation is not there. Have you seen all those things in a big brands? No, it is not available. If you see small cars, these phenomena are available because of cost parameters. The packaging is made in such a way, or the body is made in such a way, or the material being used in such a way that it will not take all those aspects preservation inside it, and they are making just cost effective. Now, second aspect is production. So production, it should be capable enough to protect the material inside it. For example, if we take uh, example of wafer, right? Wafers. What do you think? If you are packing any potato wafers, and, and the pouch is not moisture resistant, moisture is, we call it WVTR, water vapor transmission rate. If WVTR, water vapor transmission rate is high, means moisture can penetrate to the pouch, then the crispiness will be lost. So who will buy those non-crispy articles? Nobody will buy. So protection is always there. So we have to design a package in such a way, like, there is another dimension. If you want to pack milk, so milk has already got 70% of water. So do you think that we need WVTR resistant film? No, it is not required because water is already there. In fact, we need some different thing. What is that different thing? We need some uh, effect where if temperature pressure is generated inside, so it can be released, right? So there are different aspects for packaging of different applications, different articles. Same way, there is another dimension, we call it presentation. So of course, anything should be packaged in such a way that presentation is available. Like sometimes if you see, there is a car back view mirror, something is written. Can you tell me what is written on that back view mirror? It is written, articles you see in this glass may be closer than it is visible. Are you with me? So that is called basically a marking. So that is a part of, again, coating or in the industry. And now another part is aesthetics. So we are always going, tell me, when we are going to select a car, we always see the aesthetics, which is looking better, which is designing is better or color is better. So that is basically a part of coatings. So aesthetics are more important for unit packing, and marking is more important for bulk packing. Like, have you seen any designing or graphics on corrugated box? No, we have not seen. So designing, graphics, half-tone printing, all these things are available on unit pack. Like if one box is carrying 10 boxes of biscuits, 10 packs of biscuits, so biscuit pack is a unit pack. So it is printed with nicely, some baby photo or maybe some model's photo or something like that. But the corrugated box, which is where we are packing all those things, it is just marking is important. What is inside it, what is the weight, which side to be kept top and which is to the bottom. Okay, so aesthetics and marking. So this is basically a role of coatings. So presentation, the coatings comes in presentation as well as sometimes it is for production, but major role is in presentation. Okay. So to conclude, what is the role of coatings? So basically, role of coating is to convey the message. Like I have introduced, there's something is written on the glass. So convey the message, to provide the protection, and largely to give the decorative effect to the substrate, right? Now, this is again same thing. I'm giving another picture. What we have discussed later. This is just we are summarizing what we have discussed so far in a different way. The coatings for flexible industry, we have, like we have discussed, it can be process specific, like gravure application or flexo application. It can be solvent specific, like toluene based, non-toluene based, non-toluene, not ketonic based, like this. And then there is a different dimensions. If you want to make a toluene basings or toluene based coatings, so what type of substrates and what type of resins we have to use. So this gives, there's a glimpse of it. The toluene-based coatings we can produce with polyamide resins, with NC-based coatings resins, and then PU-based resins and vinyl-based resins. We cannot produce PVB-based coatings with toluene solvent. We cannot make acrylic coatings with toluene-based solvents, right? If you want to produce non-toluene substrate, we can produce only vinyl-based. We cannot go for different aspects. If you want to produce non-toluene, non-ketonic coatings, then we have to, this is something technical aspects. I'm touching little part of technical. I'm not going to too details in chemistries and too details of equations. I'm giving a brief scenario, right? NT-NK, non-toluene, non-ketonic inks, coatings we can produce with polyamide, with nitrocellulose, with polyurethane, and we can produce by polyvinyl butyrate, PVB resins. Similarly, if you want to make a flexo coatings for toluene base, we can again make polyamide base, nitrocellulose base, polyurethane base, and vinyl base. If you want to make flexo base coatings for non-toluene, non-ketonic, will be again polyamide base, nitrocellulose base, polyurethane base, and polyvinyl butyryl base. Water-based coatings we always and we can only produce with acrylic base, and now industry has introduced a polyurethane base water-based coatings as well. We call it polyurethane acrylic emulsions. Same thing, if we conclude in a different way, like based on solvent system or based on applications, Again, same bases like polyamide, nitrocellulose, polyurethane, polyvinyl butyrate, vinyl, and acrylic. Vinyl is basically nothing but VCVA. Vinyl, this is a copolymer. Vinyl acetate, vinyl chloride, copolymer. So in short, we call it vinyl resin. So the toluene base again, if it categorized by toluene or alcohol base, so alcohol base we can produce and water base we can produce by acrylic, right? So based on application, yes, this is something new. So if you want to produce surface application and reverse application, okay. Now I will take little time over here because new thing has come. Uh, Coatings can be described as surface application as well as reverse application. Whenever we are talking about hard surfaces, or I can say metallic surfaces, or maybe opaque surfaces, like any hard surfaces, like whether it is a metal or it is a wood or it is a masonry or like walls, they are hard surfaces and they are opaque surfaces, right? So all opaque surfaces has to be printed on surface applications. So today our session was basically, it is categorized as surface coatings. So we do presume, we understand that coatings can be only surface applicable. No, it is not the case. So we have another dimension, we call it reverse coatings as well, reverse application coatings. So I will give you some brief about it. So surface coatings, everybody knows the coatings which we apply on wall, which we apply on metal, which we apply on floor. Those are called surface applications. So surface means everything what we apply is basically on surface. But here the surface doesn't mean that it is on any substrate. It is not on surface. Surface means which is above the surface, which is exposed to the environment. Right? Be very clear, be very specific, because whenever we are talking about surface application, we are talking about surface coatings. Nobody is going to identify or distinguish this aspect. Everybody will understand that surface application means whenever we are applying any coating on any surface, it is called surface coatings. No, surface coatings means when we are applying any coating on any substrate and it is exposed to the air, or it is directly, I am using word directly coming to the eye contact, then it is called surface coating. When it is, there is another dimension, we call it reverse coating. When this coating is applied on any surface and it is reverted. Reverted means, I will explain it. Reverted means, like if you apply a paint on glass, there is a glass inside your house, maybe a door, you apply on a door paint from one side. If you see it from where it is printed, it is surface side. If you see the same print or same graphics from the opposite side, it is called reverse application, because whatever you are seeing, it is not from the front. It is not coming directly to your eyes. It is coming by passing the glass. The rays are passing, or that the light is passing, which is reflected. It is passing first the glass and then coming to your eyes. So that is called reverse application. And same is the case in flexible industry. In flexible industry, 90% of application is reverse application. In rigid industry, 90%, not 90%, 100% application is surface application. But in flexible industry, 90% is reverse application and only 10% is the surface application, right? So am I clear here? What is surface application and what is reverse application? So for surface application, we can produce a coating with polyamide, we can produce with nitrocellulose, we can produce with polyvinyl butyrate, and we can produce with acrylic. Whereas for reverse application, nitrocellulose is the common. PU can be used only for reverse application. PU cannot be used for surface application. PVB again is a common for surface as well as level reverse. Vinyl again we cannot use for surface application. Vinyl we can use only for reverse application. And acrylic is again common for surface as well as reverse application. Okay. Now, there is another dimension, how we can bifurcate or we can classify the coatings. Coatings again can be classified based on the drying mechanism. whatever coatings we understood as of now, surface coatings in hard applications, normally we do understand that it is by oxidation, because whenever we are applying a paint on a metal or in a car, it is just by oxidation, right? Or there is a cross linking inside it. But there are different dimensions for coating drying mechanism or coating application. The coatings can be applied or can be cured just by absorption. So the basic example is the paper coatings. All paper coatings are basically dried or cured just by absorption. With the paper absorbs some part, even the coatings or the paint which is applied on walls or masonry, some part is absorbed, some part is evaporated, and there is a cross linking as well, whether it is oxidation or it is a chemical curing. So basically, there are four dimensions: absorption, then evaporation of solvents, then oxidation. Oxidation means the curing with the oxygen available in the environment. And fourth is the polymerization. Polymerization may be the self-polymerization, where two raw materials cross-link to each other. Like we have few examples of epoxy coatings. So epoxy coatings are cured by polyamide hardener. So when we mix together epoxy resin and polyamide resin, so epoxy resin here acts as a base resin and polyamide resin acts as a hardener. So they start chemical curing, start reaction, and the body becomes the resin. So that is called self-curing. There are certain curing which can be done only in presence of either UV beam or electronic beam or electromagnetic beams. So those type of coatings are known as either UV coatings or EB coatings, electromagnetic beam curable coatings. So these coatings cannot cure itself unless until some UV light is put it onto it. So that is why we call it UV coatings. Or there are another dimensions, because but UV coatings are not human friendly. It has got so many raw materials which is not good for human body. So that is why it is not gaining its advantages. Though it has got very good properties, but it is not getting popular, and there is some restrictions to use UV based UV curable coatings. Even electronic beam coatings are also having the similar problems, but somehow electron beam coatings are better than UV curable coatings. Okay, so as far as Indian market is concerned, now a few of slides from here will come to the students to make their career, whether they want to go for hard coating industry or they want to go for flexible coating industry. So this is few segments I have given, so that it will give you the segments. So what is the potential available where, whether it is good enough to make a career over there or not. So what is the strategy for Indian market for flexible coating industry? The coatings will achieve 50% of the future sales from the product is still to be discovered. Believe me, this sentence is very interesting. And the meaning of this sentence is that in flexible industry, every day there is a big developments coming up. So even today, whatever coatings are not available, it is still to be discovered. They will give more and more sales. More and more means the potential is very high. The development product potential is very high. So the students who want to make their career, particularly in the R&D segment, it is the big field available for them. Major focus is on upcoming trends like coatings for surface application with maximum resistance properties to maximize the recycling of packaging material. Here, the very important criteria is that today we have uh, so many junks and maybe what you call, आप जहां पे भी जाकर देखेंगे ना, बहुत बड़े बड़े पहाड़ आपको मिल जाएंगे, maybe for garbage and then all those plastic materials. So the major focus today is to the recycling of all the packaging, whether it is car recycling, whether it is electronics recycling. We call it e-waste processing. Similarly, it is recycling of packaging material, recycling of metallic materials. So recycling is become the major trend as of now. So the major focus as of now for coating industry is so that you can recycle the object, whether it is metal or it is plastics or it is paper, if it is coated, so the coating should itself be recyclable. Sometimes what happens, if you see the metallic bodies, if you want to recycle a car body, or if you want to recycle a rack of Indian Railway, what to do? First, you have to burn it so that all the coatings can burn and it will destroy it. Because the coatings what we are applying as of now on any metallic surface, it is not recyclable because it is already hard cure, it is already chemical cured, so it is not recyclable. It is not thermoplastic, it is thermo setting. So the present trend is even whatever coatings we can produce, it should be recyclable so that you need not to burn it, you need not to produce the so many gases and the garbage or maybe to pollute the environment. So there is a big industry coming up. Dairy and health hygiene segment is our core area of business in coating industry. So this is again dairy and health hygiene segment is very big booming basically for coating industry. Focus on water-based coatings, especially for flexo applications. So like I already introduced, this is coming up in a big way. Like recently, I'm not supposed to discuss here, but though there is not industry specific or industries are not there, so for the interest of students, for the interest of academic, I'm just disclosing it. Even Amazon and Flipkart, they are coming up with their paper bags. Now, whatever you are getting as of now, articles in plastic bags, it is half already banned, and there is a big focus to convert everything into paper bags. So we are already working some coatings on that, especially with Amazon and Flipkart, both the companies, to make a coatings which is recyclable and can be put it on paper bags so that it will give strength as well as some non-water destroyable so that it will become water resistant as well as it should be recyclable. So this is maybe in the down the line 2-3 months you will see all those paper bags Amazon and Flipkart is going to be used. Okay, this slide is little older. The data is up to only 2016 to 17, but it will the trend is similar, and it will give the glimpse that how much big conversion coating industry is there. Conversion coating means again we call it flexible coating industry. So this will give an insight whether to make a career over here or not. So if we see in 2005 to 2017, the very rich people were 1.2% consumption, and then in 2011 there was 2.6% rich people. There is 5.2 percent was in the rich category in 2016 to 2017, right? So the rich category is increasing, but this rich category is not going to suffice our scope, right? Like 5.2% people, how much consume? They will consume package or flexible packaging. The major effect is coming from the consuming class. If we see in 2005, there was hardly 32.5% people which were consuming the packaging. We can understand in such a way, if you see 2005, 2006, how many people were using biscuits, how many people were using Tata tea, everybody was using, or sugar in a packed form. Everybody was using from a grocery store, they were taking the pulses or maybe rice or maybe wheat or maybe flour in a just repacked manner. लाला से बोलते थे भाई 1 किलो दे दो 2 किलो दे दो, right? But now this has come to 76%, from 32% to 76%, because today the consuming class is increasing. Everybody is using the packed product. The food processing industry has been booming up in big way because of this. Climbers class was 54%, today climbers has 82%. The aspirant in 2005 were 44%, and today is only 20%. So all those aspirant and destitutes, they have now converted to consuming class. So even if you go to the rural area where the earning per capita earning is not even 100 family, even those people are consuming some sort of packaging, some sort of coatings in terms of like whether biscuit or maybe Tata tea or something like ghee or milk, whatever, right? So the consuming class has become, in a nutshell, so the future is very bright in flexible industry. Future is very bright for the coating industry for flexible trend. If you see the global trend, this was the Indian trend. If you see the global trend, uh, if we talk about Asia, in Asia, there is 17 kgs per capita consumption. Means one person in Asia in a year is consuming 17 kgs of packaging material. This is not the packaging product, it is packaging material. 17 kgs in a year, one person is using. If you talk about the same thing in India, it is hardly 4.5 kgs. If you see the global ratio, the global average is 23 kgs. So we are much behind than global average. Forget about global average, we are much behind than Asian average. And you see, the North America is far away, 10 times, not 10 times, 20 times ahead than us for packaging product consumption. So this 4.5%, 4.5 kg per capita consumption is in 2011. Today it is 7.2. So we can understand how much growth is there, right? If you see that tabular form, per capita consumption, here the Taiwan is the highest in the world to use the packaging product. If you go to Taiwan, you will hardly find any product which is loosed. Everything is packed. Everything is packed. So in Taiwan, they are using 490 US dollars on packaging per capita, per person. Okay. If we talk about India, we are just using 5 US dollar packaging material per capita. So the growth potential is very high. You can see over here, the growth potential is very high. This is again growth potential you can see. So let us not discuss too much. I think I should summarize because we should have half an hour for our question answer session. So let me quickly summarize. Quickly go ahead on my balance slides. Now, key drivers and trends, which is coming up in the growth pattern, the aging of the world population, the trend towards smaller houses, because smaller houses means small needs, small needs means small packages you need, small packages means the everything should be packed and then consumption will be for packaging material will be high. The increasing requirement of convenience among the consumers, because the requirements is every day people are getting more and more information, so their requirement is increasing. Rising health awareness among the consumers. Earlier, people used to drink water from any tap, any sort of hand pump, but today even hand pump is available. Everybody knows this water is coming from the very deep. It should be potable or it should be drinkable, but nobody is drinking it. Everybody is drinking a packaged milk, water. So the awareness is increasing. The threat is increasing. The trend towards on the go lifestyle, I mean, increasing time, poor consumers. On the go means everybody likes shampoo sachet. We need like soap papers, right? If we are traveling, how many people will carry this bulky soap? How many people will carry bulky 1 kg of shampoo bottle? Everybody is using a sachet. So the on-the-go lifestyle, everything should be available in the car. Everything should be almost thing available in your pocket. So those on-the-go lifestyle is increasing the requirement of coating industry. Growing requirements of for brand enhancement, differentiation in an increasingly competitive environment. This is another aspect. Now everybody is rushing behind the brands. That is why the branding is always can be done by printing or can be done by coatings. So unless until coating is there, like we have seen that picture, if nothing is printed, nothing is coated, so branding is not there. So everybody is running behind the brand. So branding is again booming because, and that is why the coating requirement is increasing. New packaging material development, the move towards smaller pack size, like we already told, on the go requirement. That is why smaller package size is increasing, and that is why the coating industry is booming. This is the market potential. If you see in crores in 2003, the market potential was 864 crores in India. This is we are talking about in India for coating industry, and in 2016 it is almost three times, 2164, and now it is 2780 in 2020. Okay, coming back to concluding slide, again for the lighter mood, we kept that story in between. So the woman replied, when this guy told the woman, I am lost. So the woman replied, you must be in marketing. The person replied, yes, I am. How you know that I'm in marketing? I'm a marketing person. So the woman replied, well, you do not know where you are or where you are going. You have risen to where you are right now, 30 feet above the ground level, due to a large quantity of hot air inside your balloon. You made a promise which you have no idea how to keep, and you accept people beneath you to solve your problem. The fact is, you are in exactly the same position you were met before. Means, if so, if this is the case, it is my fault not to convey the things in proper way. If you the opportunity is given again by Dr. Raj, I will try to take care in next time. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Actually, thank you very much. And this was really a very wonderful, informative, excellent informative talk. Actually, we learned so many things, and especially for this coding aspect, actually, that classification, budget replications, and flexible. And I have several questions, so let the participants ask the questions first. So
Please.
participants are free to ask, and not only questions, anything, whatever they have in their mind, they can interact actually. And it is just a interaction actually. So you can interact. So we have here our four people from our HPTI, Mr. Anjali Sharma sir actually, and Dr. Navneet Kumar. He's my BTech classmate. And then we have Dr. Rahul Kumar actually. So the four people are there from SBTI. The rest of the participants are there from different part of countries. So uh, participant can interact and talk whatever they have in their mind concerned to his talk or maybe of surface coating. The one question: is there any scope? Uh, that question, can I read it? Is there any scope for the simulation expert in coating industries?
Yes, there is a big scope actually. We can do a simulation in our laboratory. That is the biggest part in flexible thing. The best part is what we understood. Particularly, this is my opinion. Stimulation in our laboratory is possible for everything, and that is the biggest part. We are doing consultation. Whatever we are developing, first we are doing the stimulation in our laboratory itself. We are doing on miniature scale. Idea is that your project or your experimentation should be done in such a way that the parameters what you are getting in your laboratory, you should have an idea. If I am getting X parameter in my laboratory on a larger scale, it will give my X plus or it will give X minus. So that stimulation, it cannot be 100% replica. If you are producing something in laboratory, if you are producing something in your what you call pilot plant, it cannot be on larger scale. It has to be, some differentiation has to be there, some different will be there, but this is your expertise. That if I'm getting X result in my experiment, if I'm getting Y result in my laboratory, I'm getting Z result in my pilot batch, then what will be the, whether it will be X plus or it will be Y or it will be Z plus in my commercial batches, so that needs an expertise. But yes, stimulation is definitely possible.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning,
Sir,
Avinash.
myself Avinash Kumar. I am first year PhD student doing PhD from NIT Silchar. Sir, I am new in the field of coding. Sir, whenever I asked with my guide to know about coding, he give me two problem. First, in home, you see a battery inverter battery its cells get corroded. So he asked me to search on that, and second he asked me, in for printing a paper, ink is required, and you will see that after some time the its ink fade, paper ink fade off. So he asked me to go do research on that so that the ink will not fade. So give me some idea on the printing of ink.
Yeah. So when we are talking about fading, so fading is basically two criteria. One criteria is fading of color. Another criteria is fading of the coating itself. If we talk about fading of color, the best part is that you should use all light fastness colors. We call it high performance colors or high performance pigments. So if you are using like azuthrin pigments, if you are using like violet 23, if you are using like rhodamines, this will give different dimensions for color fading. So what we have to use, you have to use UV stabilizers. In any coating industry, whenever you are using applying colors, so there are two aspects. UV stabilizer will not always work. UV stabilizer will work only when your base pigment is UV stabilized, right? So UV stabilizer will enhance the life of your coating. It will not create the 100% resistance to UV light or the color fading. So the best thing is that your color selection should be in such a way that this is already having a light fastness. If you know the color industry, so there are light fastness is measured in terms of blue wool scale, and that blue wool scale is ranging from 1 to 8. So if you are using the color strength, blue wool scale strength 8, that means the color will not fade up to 10 years in direct sunlight. 10 years direct sunlight means one day we presume 6 hours daylight. Means 24 hours means if you talk about in terms of total length, so it will be 40 years. So if you use light fastness color which is having a blue wool scale 8, the color will not fade up to 40 years. If you are using a color which is blue wool scale of, let us say 2, the color will be fade within 3 days. 3 days means 1 day 4 hours, 3 means 24 days. Means within 1 month your color will be faded. So first of all, your selection should be in such a way. Now there is a different dimension. Whether you have used light fast colors, the color is not fading, but your coating itself got displeted. Maybe there is a crack or it is removed from the surface. So coating, there is again surface preparation is very important. If you are using battery, so 90% of battery cells are made or outer cells are made with PP. So the PP can be treated either by corona or it can be, corona is not like this corona where we are getting nowadays. This corona treatment is a bombardment of electron beams that we call it corona treatment. So either you can corona treat it or you can use heat treatment and then apply coating. Uh, Precisely, you have to use two component coatings because in battery there is acid inside. So we have to have a chemical resistance coatings as well. So there are three major things you have to take care. Number one, all your colors should be light fast, which should have minimum 7 light fastness. Second is all your coatings should be curable or two component coatings so that it should have a chemical resistance, basically acid resistance, because all the batteries are having acids inside. So acid resistance should be very important. So coating should be basically acid resistant. So these two things you should keep in mind.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any other question from any other participants?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Anchal. I'm MTech first year student.
Yes, Achal.
Sir, yes, sir, as you mentioned about replacing the plastic bags with paper bags with the help of coatings, you gave us two applications. The one which Flipkart and Amazon are using, and also replacing the plastic bags that we used to go use for grocery shoppings, etc., with the other bags. Sir, what about food packaging? For example, sir, biscuits, chips, they are packed in polythene bags, which is a major cause of pollution nowadays. But also at the same time, they help us last the items a little longer. So, is there any research or any work going on in replacing those plastic bags with paper bags with the help of coatings?
Yes, very good question basically. Let me be very honest in saying that there is no scope as of now to replace polyester and BOPP packages. All those small packs, which is like polyester has got its own application, BOPP has got its own application. Polyester is being used like where we want aroma resistance. Like polyester is being used for tea packages, and BOPP is being used where WVTR is required, right? So those two segments, the important aspect is, as of now, we do not have any substrate other than foil. Other than foil, neither paper nor any other substrate can replace these two things. So things are going on only to replace by foil. But again, the costing is very high. If you replace polyester laminate or BOPP laminate with foil, the costing is very high. And same time, we have to use a coating inside it. So for paper, there is nothing is going on, and it cannot be replaced as of now. If something come, maybe in some sort of coating come in future, it is possible, but as of now, there is no scope.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other question from any other participants? So I have something in the mind from my side. Participant can also ask in the meantime, so don't wait for that. So I will ask my thing. You said that you are providing some student projects, something.
Yes.
So let's say because we have students also here, and every student wants to have a industry oriented project. Let's say for master's dissertation, at least they have sufficient time there, at least 1.5 years time. Probably if they have something in mind already, so they can spend their 2 years also actually. Means the first year they have some courses, but they can start working from maybe first semester onwards if they have something, let's say industry oriented project. So how to means get started of such type of connectivity that we can have a student in industry oriented projects.
Okay. So there are two dimensions, and we are working into different aspects. One aspect is, suppose you have a academic projects, which is at the time of maybe classes you are conducting some projects. People are
Actually, I will tell frankly what we are doing because I don't want to means exaggerate the thing. I will say frankly, uh, Most of the time we give some project. Actually, the some project people do something and get out of the some data. Actually, most of the project, I will say frankly,
Yes,
they're not much predefined means output or target what need to come from that.
very
So
true.
something is being done in the routine activity type of thing actually.
Very
So
true.
therefore, you would say the output from academia is not as per need of the industry also,
Very true.
because there is no much collaboration between academic and the industry. So
Yes.
industry is doing this side and academic is working this side, and finally nothing much is coming out. As per the foreign countries are concerned, they have every project aligned with industry needs.
Very true. So this
So
is
I'm thinking that something can be done in this way. Actually, it would be great to at least these participants or my students or the participant who are participating here, academician.
very true. So let me brief you, because this is the biggest lacuna as of now in our education system. What we understand, there is no collaboration between education or educationists and then industrialists. What we are doing as of now, this is not the case with you. It is the case to almost all institutions I'm associated with. They used to give project based on their teachers' assumption, or their teachers' expertise, or their teachers' just thought of mind. Okay, you work on this project, you work on this project. No, this should not be the case. What we are doing, we are giving an industry-specific problem to the students. And believe me, we have worked in 4 projects. A student in their project, they have earned millions of rupees within their project. Because one task we have given in PVG College Pune to a group of 4 students, which was a chronic uh, problem with the industry at the time of printing. This group of 4 students worked on this project for 1.5 years, almost 2 years. They solved half of the problem. They were not able to conclude, but the same project was continued with the next group, and they concluded it, and they sold this problem to the industry, almost 4 or 5 industries. Maybe Navneet is here. He has just interacted with the PVG professor yesterday, and I have given so many projects to that professor in PVG college. And this case, what I'm talking, it is from PVG college itself. The students have sold their report to so many industries, and they earned a lot, because those chronic situations, those chronic problems, if industry will solve itself, they have to make so many experiments, and still they will lost so many things, but they were not able to conclude it. The students have concluded it and they have earned. So we have to give the projects in such a way, you may or you may not be able to conclude everything to the industry requirement, but at least you will reach up to some extent. You can continue with the next batch. You can continue with the next batch, right? So this is the trend should be there.
So that type of coordination, actually, I am hoping from your side, at least for my students or the participant who are participating. Let's see, and how can we mean the appoint our maybe master's student, maybe our PhD student in that way, or maybe
Yes,
our BTech student, whoever are intended to work on that. And definitely, actually, what we have sufficient manpower and time. Only thing we need some guidance from your side that okay, these are the things you should start working. As you said, it will take time. It's not like that it will be solved in 1 month or 1 year or 2 years. So it may be that we are going in some the direction at least.
yes,
So I support your guidance and at least some initiative, at least one project you can offer to us, and that then we can start working on
definitely.
that way.
I can give you multiple projects. Basically, the chronic issues in the industry, you can think it of what facilities, which project you can cater in your laboratory, and then if you require, my laboratory is available. My laboratory is one of the state of art laboratory. So my facility is available for you people, for all sort of students. If you want to come to my laboratory, spend some time over here, learn something, I'm available. My laboratory is available.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And one more thing, actually, this is a thing I have since I joined the academic, actually. So because now I have some stabilized place, I won't move from here, I think. So I want to start a course on this surface coatings, actually. So I need some means not some, actually, that total support in order to design the course content and curriculum for that. What need to be
Right.
covered, because currently we have masters and BTech. PhD, okay, we can do the project, but courses are not being taught much in PhD. But masters we have, yes, courses. BTech we have. So can we give some specialized courses, at least maybe 4 or 5 courses, which may make them the suitable for surface coating industry, or maybe we can have some specialized masters, let's say some seats in that category, which can go and let's say masters in purely chemical, masters in, let's say, purely in surface coating or
Yes.
packaging, maybe type of.
Right. So,
So I, yeah.
yeah, just for your information, I'm one of the panelists, and I'm a core member as an industry expert for a few institutions to decide their curriculum, to decide their course content.
Mhm.
Particularly Pune University and then Gujarat University. I'm a part of their team. So we have designed our courses for those universities. So if you wish, we can participate definitely, and we can contribute something to you as well.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. One more thing, something about our the research, but let's say we want to make that high impact and scratch resistance coating. So people are already working, and something is already available also. But let's say we want to do something at laboratory level just to expand something. So can you give some thought that what we can start, what we can do at least at the laboratory level of things?
Yes. So first of all, uh, like you have given a very generic statement. Like again, coming back to
Yes,
what
yes, 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 I know.
what I have explained in my presentation. Whenever we are talking about that you want to develop a surface coating, first you have to identify the substrate for what application you want to do that. Whether you
Let's
want to
say
do it,
we want to do it, let's say, for timing, let's say for the running vehicles, most of the time they just face this problem, actually, the
yeah,
running objects, or the metallic part, or let's say plastic bodies.
yes,
So in that case, these are the very common thing,
right,
just the hitting and the scratching part, actually.
right. So I understand because this is the scenario with most of the surface coating specialists, that when we are talking about surface coatings, their major focus is basically for the metallic part. And automobile is the major industry for that, right? But nevertheless, one thing I can tell you: whenever we are talking about high resistance, high scratch, high impact, high heat resistance, all those coatings, our starting point should be the epoxy, because epoxy is the first resin which can give you so many aspects, and then you can blend with polyurethane, and then cured with so many things. So you can try with the polyamide, you can try with oxamines, you can try with the amines, and the hydroxyl values you can alter with the polyurethane, so that you will get the different resistances. The, here one thing is very important. Whenever people are working on the hardness of the films, they forget about the flexibility. Hardness is not the only one criteria. You have to keep the flexibility also in the mind, because once you are creating a scratch resistance, the hardness on the top coat is very important. But at the same time, if you are using for the suppose automobile industry, so flexibility is also equally important, because the moment you are creating hardness means your film becoming more and more rigid. So the flexibility also should be very important. So you have to make a balance between these two. So just keep in mind whenever you are application, and try to start with epoxy.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you very much. The last question from my side is, let's say for food packaging, these flexible films,
Yeah.
and let's say this coating of this chocolate is also one sort of coating, actually.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yesterday. So we have on cocoa powder cooking on this milk and butter combinations and all that. So something, can you tell about that? What can we think about in that way? Some idea of that.
Uh, See, if you want to produce those type of coatings, so the best part is that first of all, there are presently there is a big legislations available for food industry, because we have seen last down the line 2 3 years there is a big contamination in the food industry. There is a big gambles and everything is going on. So the government is very very much strict for this food packaging, not only for food but food packaging as well. So there is a, first of all, if you want to go to this segment, you should learn about the negative list. Negative list is available. It is already available on the net. It is available on different aspects, the different platforms. That negative list is available from Government of India. It is available from Government of Japan. It is available from Netherlands, or maybe different countries. It is available. So negative list means what are the ingredients which are prohibited, which cannot be used in the cooking for food industry. So just refer that negative list. If you just remove those parameters, the rest everything is available. You can go ahead with that.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Any other question from participants?
Yes, sir. One
Dr.
question, sir.
Navneet, do you want to? Okay, okay. Avinash,
Sir,
continue.
sir, give me some innovative and novel idea in field of surface coating so that young researchers like me and many others do research in that field, which will help our society. Because in now a trend that getting published a paper, you will get a degree, but it remain in the paper.
So, Avinash, can you type your questions because actually your voice is breaking. Avinash,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Avinas, I got the idea about your project. You want to do
Yes, sir.
something innovative.
Some innovative idea, because now a research is that getting a published paper, you are getting a degree, but it is not easy in industry. That's the problem, sir. So give idea that will help our society, help our Indian.
So if you want to do this work for a very short term is very quickly. This scenario is you can work on two aspects. Number one is self curing coatings, particularly hygiene coatings, self curing hygiene coatings. You can work on it, which is going on in a big way. We call it anti-fungal, antibacterial coatings. So there is a big work going on. All big industries are working on it. Probably you have seen also some advertisement that Asian Paints has come up with a paint which is antibacterial paint. Not only antibacterial, but particularly for anti-corona. Means it will what you call a disinfectant sort of coatings. So you can work on it, because this corona scenario will go on till next 2 years. So if you want to do some research work within 2 years span, best is that you should go for this aspect, number one. And then second, definitely it is an ongoing project since last so many years, and it will continue for maybe further down the line 5 6 years. That is recyclable coatings. So these two projects can be very good scope for you, and you can, if you can publish and you can do some research on these two things, you can learn, you can earn a lot. You can earn a lot, because it is the need of the industry. Everybody is working on it.
So thank you, sir.
Yeah, Raj, I have one input about the session. First of all, Pramod sir, it's a very nice
yes.
and informative session. I really appreciate, and it is very inspiring as well, to have you in this forum. Dr. Raj, I have an input as many of people are students. So there is a
Students and faculty also.
that
Yeah.
this, I mean, at this stage when we are students, and these all technology like coating, polymers, and these and that are a very infrastructure driven study. So it is very difficult to do in the institute or nearby places. On the other hand, the another technology like software or making app or making websites are easy because it's a easy investment. So now what is the midway? What should be the correct alignment between the studies and so that it can be. So tomorrow, if possible, we want to add up this topic for maybe 5-10 minutes, which can be beneficial to the students who are doing some research, or because this is a major problem. The organization or students need some kind of money to do their work, or to prove whatever they are doing is right. And so, what is the midway? What a student should do at this stage when they are not associated with the industry? So, I mean, this may be one another aspect which we can include in this session. It may be beneficial to a common students. So, this is my input.
Yes, yes, you can conclude in your talk actually, and that would be our pleasure actually. We are the learning from each of all the expertise like you and Pramod sir. And yeah, it is that definitely because everything needs investment actually, the laboratory facility and all this. But with you people collaboration, if we can get some support from that side, so that may also be, that gap can also be means narrow down actually to some extent. So we from our computational and manpower part and something, some collaboration, it will help actually if we do something. And this forum would obviously would help actually in that sense actually.
Right.
First thing, at least we should get some idea. Currently, we are the getting the ideas. At least we can think, because once you don't have idea of how can we think that infrastructure facility to be generated. As far as the funds are concerned, every institution have some fund, but sometimes we don't have proper directions to be utilized. And if we can give some innovative idea to set up the centers. So currently we have the set up one center in Center of at the Excellence in Energy and Environment in in NIT Jalandhar. So this is funded by Ministry of MNRE and some industry. So with that also we are also having some fund and something will come. So these things would be actually generated actually. And for characterization purpose, this IIT and MHRD also have some these actually the sophisticated instrumentation analysis, facilities in each zone actually. North zone we have IIT Delhi, and Bombay zone we have IIT Bombay also. So there we can means avail all the high-end facilities actually. So those are for academic and institutions also, for the industry also we can use. So yes, obviously. So if you can add that part in your presentation and talk, it would really benefit to all of us
Right.
actually.
And Dr. Raj, one
So
more
any other
input.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more input I'm having, because my video was also off during the session. Only two people, the speaker
Yeah.
and Dr. Raj, was there. So is there any protocol that other people cannot on the video or something? Because
No, no, no. There's no as such way. I keep my thing on because I want to make sure my speaker at least have that the somebody is listening to him or not. Because most of the time when we turn on the video, off the video, and nobody is talking, is the somebody looks, oh, what happening? Is there
right,
anyone there or not? Because the network connectivity also went down. Sometimes we don't know what is happening on the other hand also. So for
right.
that reason, actually, I keep the
So
things,
maybe
my thing
the
on
video
actually.
should be on. That way, the speaker feel more connected to the people. So that
Yes,
is
yes, yes. And it looks much more interactive also actually. The whoever
right.
talking, listening and all that is good.
Okay.
If possible that most of the time participants also turn on. Sometimes due to connectivity also video is on, but you cannot see due to bandwidth problem also.
Right.
So any other question from participant sides before Mr. Gangiyan and other participant can take the leave because the next session would start at 2 also. So any other questions they can feel free to ask.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question, sir. I'm MTech first year student. I have already done the project for BTech in self-healing polymers. So there we have done in the basis of microcapsules. So for if the in the case of coatings, what are the basic self-healing uh, type of self-healing that we are using in surface coatings?
Sorry, I'm not able to catch up your question clearly. Can you either repeat or just write it in the chat box?
Yes, of course, sir.
Do you want to know the ingredient of the self-healing coatings or something like that?
Yes, sir, both, sir. We have done in microcapsular self-healing polymers. So in surface coatings, what type of self-healing is the using in surface coatings? What type of self-healing is using in surface coatings? So there are more intrinsic and extrinsic. Many type of self-healings are there.
Okay, so again there is a big what do you call it? Discussion. I'm not able to whether you want to get self-healing or self-cleaning.
Healing only,
Healing,
only
sir.
healing, self-healing. So she
Self-healing.
wants to say there are two type of the self-healing, intrinsic and extrinsic actually.
Right.
So she want to ask, I think in both, I think.
Okay.
Can you type your question, Srishma?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, just please type it. We will take maybe 1 minute, and then I will answer properly. Whatever I understood, see, if she is referring to the self healing, means if she is referring for self cross linking type of things. So there are so many combinations available. I do not know what is her meaning is self healing. Uh, as far as my knowledge is concerned, we understood that it should be self cross linking, means the curing, self curing. So curing aspects like we have already touched. There are different aspects, whether it is force curing or it is a self curing. Self curing means we can cure it NTP, no room temperature, room pressure. Nothing is applied, no force is required. Neither some UV beam is required nor electron beam is required. So there are different aspects for this. So basically we have to use molecules in such a way which has gone some polarities and they have some interactions to each other. So the chemistry should be in such a way that like acid and base. So positive and negative, such chemistry should be identified. Like I already one example I have given, like polyamide and then epoxy. Another example may be polyurethane and then isocyanate. So there is another chemistry. So we can use polyurethane, resin, and isocyanate as a healing or curing agent. So that can also act as a on NTP, room temperature, no temperature, no pressure is required. So it can be also cured. Like we as of now we are having big technologies for this type of polyurethane isocyanate chemistry for adhesives. So there are two types of adhesives available. One is solvent based and another is solvent less. So solvent less adhesives are basically chemistry wise both are uh, polyurethanes and isocyanates based. But in solvent base, there is a solvent available and you have to dry it. So for drying, you need a heat. So that we cannot term as what you call self-curing. So because it requires heat to evaporate the solvent and then the curing starts at certain temperature. Which is not the case with the solvent-less adhesives. So in solvent-less adhesives, the temperature is not required. No air force is required. No drying is required. It will cure itself. Just apply it, leave it for say 24 hours. It will automatically cure. So it is self-healed. So I hope I have answered her question.
Yes, sir. Actually, self-curing, but her question was also for the self-healing. Self-healing means when we have some crack or some cut in the coating, it
Okay,
automatically fill up that particular gap actually.
okay, I got it. Means
Yeah.
whenever you are applying and there is some ambiguity in the coating, maybe some sort of cracks are there, some sort of maybe boils are there, some air bubbles are there. So whatever lacunas which is not required in the coating, it should heal to itself, right? So in that case, there are as far as pure chemistry is concerned, it is not available. Like self-curing content, it is not available. You can do only with live active agents, like microbiological parts you have to do. You have to put some ingredients which is active, which is not 100% cure. When there are active contents available, so those type of coatings cannot be very hard. It cannot be scratch resistance up to the high level. It can be up to certain level, because whenever we are looking for certain coatings which is self healing, means whenever something is available, suppose what are the phenomena? The phenomena are something like crack is there. So crack means the inner part of the coating gets some exposure, maybe to the air or to the moisture. So with the interaction of those things, some content is available inside which is reactive in nature, which is not 100%
Right.
cured,
Correct.
right? So
Yes,
those
yes,
type
yes.
of content reacts with the environment, maybe moisture or maybe air or maybe some second ingredient available in the coating itself. Then they react and then they again create some sort of coating itself. So that is self healing. So those so many ingredients are available. Only thing is, suppose let me take very specific. If you want to work on polyurethane, yes, you can do self healing curing coatings in polyurethane. Only thing is that you have to use non-saturated polyurethanes. Means you can use some OH content, hydroxyl values you can keep some aside, so that it should not be 100% cured with amines or 100% cured with isocyanates. So keep some hydroxyl value alive at the time of curing. So how we can do it? So there is some ratios for polyurethane to isocyanates. So either you keep some isocyanate reactive so that your hydroxyl value is low and isocyanate content is high, or you can do reverse. Doing reverse, hydroxyl value cannot work or cannot create some reaction with moisture, whereas isocyanate can work or can create some reaction with moisture. So better to keep some isocyanate alive, and then so that when there is a crack, so isocyanate is available, it can react with moisture and it can do some self healing sort of effect. So those things are possible. There are so many raw materials available. So depending on coating, depending on base resin what you are using, and base application. So if you talk about flexible industry, yes, polyurethane resin is one. If you talk about other things, so be specific. Write it to me. I will give you my mail ID. That you can take it from Dr. Raj. I can definitely help you out if you have some
Yeah,
specific for a specific application.
some of the participant wants not some the all they send the PPT and your contact for
Oh,
future experience and all this.
sure.
So
Definitely, I
so
will
with
share it
your,
with you.
yeah, with your permission, if they are there, so we can share with
Sure.
them actually.
I will do that.
So
I will share.
so any other we can take probably one more question if you have from your side before we close this session. Any other question from any other participants?
I'm just putting my from Mr. Avinash has asked my email ID, so I'm putting in my chat box. Everybody can note it down.
Yes, yes, yes. That would be good, I think.
This is my Gangiyan.pk is my official ID, and if you want to do some specific tasks, you do not want to disclose to the industry specific, then you can note it down my personal email ID. There is no dot. Just mention it Gangiyan PK one word. In official ID there is a dot. In this Gmail ID there is no dot. So you can refer both.
So, okay, sir. Yeah,
Yeah, Gangan
sir.
sir,
Anything?
it was for you.
Navneet, do you want to say something?
Yeah,
Please.
प्रमोद सर को मैं बोलना चाहता था. Even if you have this email ID gangyanpk@gmail.com, you can still use gangyan.pk@gmail.com because Google does not recognize dots. So that way you can have the same email
Okay.
ID for.
No, no, no. It
I
recognizes,
kept
it
it
got,
intentionally.
got confused.
Yeah.
I kept it intentionally. Reason is that anybody can do stimulation. Gangiyan.peak at home means okay, just try Gangiyan.peak at Gmail. So I want to keep my personal ID as personal. That is why.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. So I would say actually it was really a wonderful talk and interaction, very fruitful way actually, and I and all participants had learned a lot from this. And obviously, as per the course content, well, really actually I would uh, take your help, Navneet help, and all of the industry people, means that expert help just to design that particular means specialization as well as to means overhaul our current existing syllabus of chemical engineering too. So with this, I will say thank you once again, actually, and to be part of this short-term course and sharing your valuable inputs and expertise with all these expert means participants, and most of the people are there from academic actually, and hopefully they will get some startup from there, that is mean the research side at least. So because sometimes we get as I told you just in beginning, we are just lack of ideas actually what can be done. So most of the time all projects the routine work only. So this would definitely will help actually to expand our curriculum activities and give the innovative projects to the students actually, so that they will become employable in industry, and because they know that what industries are there and they are good in that way. So with this, thank you very much once again, sir. And in future also we will hold such type of the programs just to have more exposure in this particular field.
Thank you. Thank you
So
so
thank
much.
you very much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you for giving this opportunity to me to explore the different dimension of the coating industry. I'm pretty sure what my last slide says, that after this session, we are not at the same place where we were before the session. I presume that
Yes,
we have
yes.
learned something.
Learned a lot, sir. We'll definitely we have learned a lot.
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much, sir. So
Thank
we can close this session
thank you. Thank you
here,
very
and
much.
we will join at 2 o'clock. Actually, the another talk on this general trends and brief the review of surface coating in automobile industry by our again from HBTI actually alumni, Mr. Dheeraj Bhadwa actually, DGM Tata Motors. So we will meet again at 1:50 actually. So you talk it at 2 o'clock. So thank you very much, sir. Have a
Thank you.
nice day actually. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks to all for attending this session. Thank you very much.
Thanks.